So welcome. Another amazing Monday here in the Breakthrough Lounge with your host, Lonnie. And I am super excited. I am your author. I am your transformational speaker. And I am your life coach. So I know you guys missed me because I haven't been here in a minute, right? Because I've been traveling, doing some awesome stuff in the community, and teaching dance because, you know, I'm a dance educator. So you guys, guess what this month is? It is mental health awareness. And as you just seen, I just said awareness because we're bringing awareness to that community. It is not a sickness. It is not a disability. It is, you know, something that a lot of us suffer with. You have depression, you have bipolar disorder. So you have a lot of different things. And some of these disorders, most people have, you know, endured because of trauma. So today we want to talk about how do we cope and how do we heal? What are some of the things that we're doing in the community to heal? You know, art, you know, so many different things that you guys do to kind of help with your mental health. So self-care, you're meditating, you're doing all of these things. So today's guest, the artist Sierra Lynn, is going to share with us how she's, you know, just kind of breaking through with this art and letting the people know, like, hey, you can break through with this art. You can just, you know, find just coping and meditation with art therapy. You guys, and I said the word therapy. I know some of you guys are probably like, I don't like that word. I don't like it. And I'm like, yes, you guys, I said it. It's a stigma. I think a lot of you guys, we grew up in a world where therapy in the Black community was unheard of. You know, if you heard that word, you thought you was crazy. But reality is, you're probably something wrong if you're not going. I always tell people you're crazy if you're not going. So you need to go because we got to find better coping mechanisms because we're showing up in the world all types of wrong and messy. So without further ado, I want to introduce my amazing guest here today on the Breakthrough Lounge, Sierra Lynn, and she's going to tell you all about what she's doing in the mental health community. So welcome, welcome, welcome. Yes.
Thank you for having me.
Yes, it's a pleasure. She's so booked and busy and minding her business out here in these streets. So it was hard to get her, you guys. So welcome. So this collection, I'm loving this.
Thank you.
I like this collection. So what is the collection? What is this about?
The collection, Bloom, Soar, Speak, is awareness, self-love, self-expression, and just beauty, finding the beauty within you, just all wrapped in one.
Okay.
So it is a growing collection now. Initially, I thought it would just be for this month. But the more and more I become inspired and just a response from people, I'm motivated to keep going.
Okay, this is amazing. So with the collection, is it just art on canvas? Like, what does that look like? What does the collection look like?
So initially it started just from T-shirts. I love T-shirts. This is one. The host is also wearing one. And now it will grow into aromatherapy. So I bought a candle right here. This is something else. Essential oils, lighting candles is something else you can do while meditating. Adding a few drops, lavender. What's another one? Peppermint. Just things that can also, help you with to be calm. So it started from wearables. This is a canvas, home decor, and now will grow into aromatherapy. So.
Okay, awesome. Ongoing. And I know I hear a lot of people, and I know for myself, I use the essential oils, and I like to burn sage and candles. But it does help looking at this candle, like seeing an image of something. I think that kind of adds to it. It's okay when you just have a regular little candle or a light, but when you go as far as putting images or affirmations on
things that represent us too.
Yes.
Our skin tones, our melanin. This one, I didn't include any words, but it would be a combination of words. So still representation, the affirmations in which you can recite, even in the mirror. I have a lot of my candles in the bathroom. So when I go in the morning or at night, even diffusers, beside my diffusers, I also, have a mirror beside my bed too. Same concept. Either in the mirror or in your room, you can recite it out loud or recite it in the mirror, whatever you prefer.
And it's an ongoing process, you guys. So healing is ongoing. These are things that you need to be doing every day to heal those wounds. So it's not just a 1 week or 1 month, because just this month is mental health awareness. You're like, okay, I'm going to get it back this month. No, what happens next month? So you got to always be in that process. But I really like this painting. Like, when you did this painting, what did it represent for you?
So this painting was actually created when I first found out about my mom having dementia. So a lot of times just doing my research with their fears, but not necessarily a fear, just their anxiety, them hallucinating, reliving the past, reflecting back, and just honestly depression, being scared, fearful. And I thought it was quite fitting just to incorporate a scripture in that. And just, I would often talk to or recite it back to my mom. And just watch her, hallucinating, saying things that quite really didn't make sense to me, but to her, it made sense. So this is just a woman I made up who is covering her ears from having conversations in her mind, whatever those conversations are, whether it is something that is making her scared or think about maybe she was traumatized from sexual assault, anything. You never know with someone that is, that has a cognitive impairment. You never know. So this is, again, my interpretation of that. But on the flip side, still going back to on a spiritual level, this helps a lot of people incorporating messages of spirituality, praying, again, meditating, and just affirmations and reciting those things over combating those negative thoughts. Being
because
mindful.
your mind, and one thing I know even from birth, you hear so many negatives. So, I always hear people now in their adult life, like, it's just so hard. It's so hard. And that's why it's important to recite these things every day, because the mind was already filled with probably 80% of negativity, and you're hearing and people putting their own words on you and trying to shape you. So now every day in your adult life, you got to keep going to replace. So it can be hard. It's all day.
Social media, everything is just constantly, and then you can recite those things in your mind all day. So, I'm a big fan of your collection, because I know this collection, this shirt that I have on is a part of the collection, is about breaking curses. And I know I hear you on your social media. I see it all the time about breaking curses. Like, what does breaking curses to you? What does that represent for you? For me, it represents a lot of things. So, starting with this particular shirt at the time, of course, since it's Mental Health Awareness Month, it was inspired just by, how can I put this? The lack of support that I've received from family, whether it also has been a resource, just breaking that cycle of brushing these behaviors under the rug. Mental illness is not new. For me, being as though I was coming from a family where it wasn't brought out as much, you would kind of think things are kind of normal to see, but my thing was, if this person had support a long time ago, what would their life be like now? So me, being so overwhelmed with a brother, a mother, and other family members who have their own separate whatever issues from separate things, whether it's health or drugs or whatever, someone needs to step in and say, okay, for me, if my child, I have a 10-year-old, if I recognize some behaviors in my daughter, hey, let me take her to go see someone, instead of saying, oh, she'll get over, she'll grow out of it. No, let me take her to the doctor. Let me take her to a therapist. Let me ask her, are you okay? A lot of times, people don't even ask, are you okay? It's so many people that are waiting to say, no, I need help.
Right.
But just to show that you care, you support, it definitely makes a difference. It means a lot. So
and it's funny that you say that, because I guess people assume when you see people in roles of always getting it done, they determined. You see what they post on social media, but truth be told, you guys, them be the ones that are just not okay. Because no one never asks them. They're like, oh no, she's always okay. And it's like, no, they could have posted that, but they're sitting in their house contemplating suicide. They're in their house lonely, but just social media has given people this mask to wear, and a lot of people are using it because they're like, oh, I can still show up and I can feel yucky on the inside.
Yeah. And I also wanted to change the perception. I think this month, and just in general, a lot of people think mental health means, oh, someone is bipolar, someone is schizophrenic, someone is crazy. No, I want to, and I will attempt to help change the perception of just this stigma. Mental health is also keeping your mental health going. So having boundaries, recognizing what your triggers are. So it's not necessarily all about people who are actually diagnosed. If you are diagnosed, okay, that doesn't stop you from thriving. Do what you need to do, get the support you need. But on the flip side of that, those like myself who aren't, necessarily diagnosed as far as bipolar and stuff like that. It's just knowing your boundaries. Hey, this is too much for me. Hey, I need this weekend. I'm already an entrepreneur on top of just realizing I have to eat. If I don't work, I don't eat. So hey, and being a caregiver to my mom is recognizing, Sierra, I'm feeling like this. It's okay to take a break. It's okay to say no at 5 o'clock. I'm done with these projects. I'll finish tomorrow, or in 2 days, like this weekend, Memorial Day weekend. Hey, it's a holiday. I can be off too. I can take a day off and resume to the rest of this tomorrow, and just take, even if it's for an hour. Just saying, hey, I'm going to do nothing but lay down. Go get my favorite smoothie, go run, go walk, do whatever, and just take that time out. So it's, again, inspiring people and encouraging people to go get the help you need. If you feel some kind of way, do that. If you are diagnosed, it's not over. Your life isn't over. Nope. And to also stress the importance of self-care. So it's a combination of things. It's not necessarily because I think people in the beginning thought that, I don't want that shirt because I'm not crazy. But again, I'm not crazy either, but someone could see you in that shirt and say, I like that, just to bring awareness. You don't have to be actually have something to help someone
it. Yeah, because it's like breast cancer awareness, right? So many people support it that don't have it because they recognize that it needs the attention. So you guys, a shirt, just breaking curses can mean so much for so many people. A lot of people need to break curses.
And it's a broad, it's so many things. It's beyond quote unquote mental health, but single motherhood, even for me, I grew up without a father. So it's just, hey, let me intentionally try to figure out how, this co-parenting can work. Although even with my experiences with that, every day is a new day to try again to do the right thing to give my daughter what I didn't have. So it's beyond brushing behaviors under the rug. It is, whether it's marriage, anything, breaking curses of,
marriage to divorce rate. It's so much. Like, I know for me in breaking curses, because I had childhood trauma, and I think about my siblings. I think about my brother, Emperor, when I think of it, it's like, if he would have had the help early on, we wouldn't be seeing the way he show up now. But I look at some of the adults that played in that time, and it's like, it's not my fault. And it's like, and it's unfortunate where adults, I really want y'all to understand this, for the kids. If you seeing certain behaviors, really address these things, because these kids are going to be adults, and that they're going to be adults out here in this world doing all types of stuff. And you don't want to be the person that said like, it's not my fault. No, you seen certain stuff, or you played a part, because some of these people have played a part in the trauma. And then all of a sudden now they want to play like, hey, I didn't do anything. No, you did. You played a part. And now you don't want to own your part. And it's not to point fingers, but at least just own it and say, I didn't have the capacity to help that person. Yeah,
it's definitely, in some cases I do feel like it's not on purpose.
Yeah, I don't think it's always.
Don't know what to do, but then again, it's a lack of resources.
Yeah.
Even if it's your insurance, some people don't have the money to pay. It's just so much. Started this, it's like, wow, I didn't even realize, being angry and like, wow, people really don't get the help they need.
They don't.
They don't know where to go. They don't know who to reach out to without, going through.
And I think some people do know who to reach out to, but then remember the anxiety. If I'm a person that's already, on edge, I'm scared, I had trauma, now the trust factor comes in. So now it's like, I see this resource, but I'm scared. I don't know because it's so many people I've talked to, even for myself, where you now gotta give out information all over again. So every time you go to a program, you got to go through intake. Who wants to go through that intake all over again, telling these people all of your story, your business, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, we don't have any spaces. Now they refer you to somebody else. So I can see how that part can be very frustrating for somebody. They're like, I'm tired of just telling people stuff and then they can't help me. And then it puts them, then they're like, I don't want to interview with nobody else. I don't want another program. They're done.
Yeah.
So they end up going out on the street, doing other behaviors.
It makes it worse.
It makes it worse. So I can see why, you know, you talk to some homeless people, they're always like, I'd just rather be out here. Because again, they got to go through that intake stuff. Although, well, where's your mom? Where's this person? How did you get there? And you're like, I don't know. I'm just here.
Right. Or verify this. Verify that you're unemployed. How?
Yeah, they just know I need help. So I wish it was maybe a process that can be better, maybe one generalized thing in the system that they can go in the system and see that, hey, you was at this someplace before and we got your information. Right. Or you was in the database for Department of Mental Health. Do we need to update anything? Has anything changed? So you're not sending that person on this circle again and getting them so overwhelmed and now they tapped out. They don't want no help. They're like, I'm done. I'm done. Send the people, send the board. I
mean, I can't imagine being a caseworker. That is, I just can't. Like, just dealing with so many different mental capacities,
it's a lot. Yeah. It is a lot. Because I remember for me, when I was homeless and I had to go to the shelter, and a part of going to the shelter, you got to get intake from their mental health. So you go through that. And then sometimes these people make you really feel like you're crazy. So you like, I am crazy. Just give me the meds. If you want me, you know. And I know I suffer with generalized depression, which is your severe anxiety. Well, not depression, but generalized anxiety. So I know that because all of the trauma that I've gone through where, you know, you get paranoid in different places. You always think like you making things up in your mind because you gone through so much trauma. So now you expecting it. Like something going to happen, something going to go wrong, you know, and that can hinder your next level. So even in business, you bringing this anxiety that nobody else know you're dealing with. So they're thinking like, okay, is something wrong with her? Like, why she got to be controlling about everything? And that is because the anxiety. Yeah. You feel like you got to control the environment in order for it to be sane, but realizing that you can't control nothing. It's just mental.
I mean, it's just about being honest and transparent in your truth. Like, hey,
this is what it is. This is what you gonna get. That's all I'm telling you. Like, you're gonna come to me. I'm very anal, and I've learned to get better with it. Where I'm saying to myself, Lonnie, you cannot control everything. You know, now that I've had help more with the life coaching and therapy, I don't try to go into environments and try to predict everything. Now I'm like, okay, let me breathe. It's too many people in here. Is this a trigger for me? I know I still deal with triggers. I think that's just going to happen.
But I think even with that, prior to me digging into this collection, I didn't even know what a trigger really was. It was like I hear all these terms, trigger, oh, I'm triggered. Just so many mental health terms. I was like, what is that? What does that mean to be triggered?
Yeah. Did you pull out something and trigger something? Like what?
What is anxiety? What is depression? I'm still having a hard time trying to figure out what depression is, just from seeing my mom and brother and other close friends, like having a hard time with that. But the other ones, I at least tried to become more educated and aware of stuff, just so when I see things, kind of like, okay, let me help, support that person or try to at least understand what they may be dealing with. So,
Yeah, that's true.
I didn't know what a lot of things were, and I feel like even people that can come out and say, these are my triggers, or I have this problem, or I suffer with this, whatever. On the other end, for a person to not, experience those things, I think that it's kind of cool to just know what it is. Same with any other thing, STDs, just things, period. You are aware of things, so when you see it, you know what it is. You know
it is not fragile. Yeah, because I noticed that now that I'm more aware of certain mental capacities, or even things that I've gone through now, looking at women in some of the women empowerment events I go to and speaking engagements, it's like you can see the resistance sometimes with certain women, or that insecurity comes up when they're in a room with people, and it's like they go to shrink themselves, and it's like, no, you good. Like, sometimes you just got to embrace certain people because you can see it all over their face. Like, okay, because this person stepped in a room, you felt like you had to shrink. You don't have to shrink. Just because somebody has so many degrees or these titles, it's okay. You don't have to shrink, or you don't have to feel like you have to talk about them, or say these things or make things up just so that you can seem bigger. No, that all reflects on what you feel about yourself. Some unresolved stuff that you didn't handle, now it keeps showing up everywhere you go. Is you always the problem? Yeah. So some people need to recognize that too, like it's something within you that you need to deal with. So maybe it is getting something out to see early in collection, and wearing it.
Provoking, because I was like, what is trauma? And I said, you know what? I have that. I'm traumatized right now.
Yeah, it's
from, it's just things that you never really just think about.
That you're traumatized
and it's like, I wonder
by.
if my mentors didn't tap me on the back, say, Sierra, you know what? Are you okay? This has to be too much to deal with. Have you ever saw a therapist? I was like, no.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, somebody might see me.
Yeah, it's always worrying about somebody else. But what happens is when you're worried about other people, you're still not getting the help that you need. So that's what I had to learn in my mind. Like, okay, I can't be worried about these people. And even for my book, that was one of the things people asked me, like, well, what are family members, or what are people going to think? I'm like, this is for me. This is my experience. This is my truth. And if I keep holding on to it, I'm going to keep damaging myself. And now my children that I have, I don't get to break the generational curses because I'm still holding on to it. So if I love them the way I say I love them, and I don't want this to be passed on them, why am I not speaking my truth? Because I'm saying, oh, okay, I don't want my uncle to say something. Oh, I don't want my aunt.
And that is a hard feeling.
That's a hard
not
feeling.
Gonna lie. It is. I suffer with that right now, just being transparent about being a caregiver. Like, wow, my family or friends, whoever is going to think that I'm slighting them, but I'm not slighting you. I'm just being honest and saying that I don't get the help that
this is
I
what
thought
it is. That this is
I
what
would
it
have,
is.
From people, and it's just I deal with that too. The more and more I talk about it and say, it's okay. Some people, your feelings are just going to have to get hurt, unfortunately.
Yeah.
But
and that's, just like ours. Our feelings get hurt too when somebody speak their truth. It's just what it is. And like I tell people, even when I wrote my book, it wasn't from a ill place. It didn't come from a negative motive. It was just to say, these are the dynamics that took place in my experience. And because these people did not get the help that they needed, it passed on. So it keeps passing on. So it was just to bring the awareness to generational curses, not so much, oh, he did this to me, she did this to me.
People still have that rule of what goes on in this house. My mother has said that,
Oh, yeah, because she old school, too. So,
and it's been a pass down. No, what goes on in this house stays in this house. And that's just period.
Yeah. And it's and I think now that mental health awareness is evolving to a place where the services are more, because now I'm seeing pop-up vans pop up on streets.
But then
now.
you have these influencers. It seems like influencers such as celebrities, when they come out and say things, then it seems to be normal. Like, oh, okay, well, such and such came out and said,
they came out.
Let me come out, or let me go to therapy. And that's okay, because you are an influencer. You influence people. But I do feel like there is an increase of more and more people catching on. Even if they don't say anything, just the conversations that are being had. But it'll take a lot of work. You know, I try to even tell people I'm nowhere near a therapist at all, but everyone can use their platform to bring awareness to something. Mine just, with my personal story, just so happens to be mental health and just period, making sure you're okay.
Yeah.
Like, it is
being
hard.
Like wearing it and believing it. It is one thing to go to a store and buy something, right? And you just put it on, but can you own it? Can you own breaking curses? Can you own being enough, being beautiful? Don't just put things on just to say, I got it on, oh, I support it. No, stand in it, believe it, and own it so you can show up better. That's the only way you're going to show up. You can't just show up just by throwing on a shirt, taking a picture and say, oh, look at me, y'all. No, believe what is, because you're branding. You're now putting it on yourself. So now this is your mission statement for yourself. Mm-hmm. Same way the business have a mission and vision. What is your mission and vision for yourself? What are your standards? What are your, boundaries? So I want you guys to start thinking about that for yourself and moving forward in your journey. What is your mission statement for your life? So that way when people come to you and want to act a fool or bring their own drama, guess what? This is my mission statement for my life. This is what I expect.
Yeah, boundaries are. I had to learn that too.
This is what I can't do.
No,
and it's okay. Oh, you want me to do something? Oh, I have an assistant for that. Because right now I can't. Because again, if you don't and you literally take on these things, these people on the other side don't even know you're dealing with something. You're over there panicking. The anxiety getting the best of you, not responding. And people end up saying, oh, well, I reached out to that person and they didn't do this or they was snappy at me. Nope, guess what? You won't even get that side of me because I'm going to send you this way. Hey, reach out to this person. And you guys, don't be upset with anybody who's setting boundaries for themselves. Same way you have to set boundaries for yourself and making sure that you okay. Respect when people tell you no. It's necessary because I'm going to tell you no if I need to. Period.
Yeah, they
that
get
part.
A little.
Yeah, don't be fragile. No is it because I'm protecting my peace.
Yeah.
This a part of the piece. Like, if you're a brand of self-love and, helping women or men to be able to own, whatever they got going on as far as mental health, stand in it. Hey, I can't do it today.
Be an example. You're right.
Yeah, be an example. I can't do it today. It's nice, but maybe next week I can have that for you in 2 weeks. But right now, looking on my table, because right now, even here, the table is filled. We don't want to add anything else to this table. If anything, we want to start subtracting things, right? So that the table can be clear. But what happens is, because we get used to people pleasing, because we were taught that growing up, we watched our grandmothers do it.
Be strong.
Be strong. We watched everybody I watched my grandmother for years. People would hit, Grandma, you making that seafood salad? She'd be over there tired as on, oh yeah, and do it. And she just adding more. And she just tired. We can see her overwhelmed. Next thing you know, by the end of the night, where we at? In Washington Hospital Center. You sick. And that's what most of us do. We tire ourselves so much to please people because we don't want people to be mad at us. We don't want people to go around saying, oh, they couldn't do this and they couldn't do that. But guess what? I don't care what you say about me.
But it really happens.
Because I need my men all the time. I've been there. Saying yes to everybody, and then now
a post will be up.
You say no to somebody, next thing you know, they done tagged you. Oh, this person is guess what? Tag me. I'm okay. At the end of the day, I gotta be okay for the other thousands of people that need me. You're one person that I had to say no to. It is okay.
Yeah.
Protect, even if you're not in business. Moms, it's okay to tell your kids no every now and again. No, I cannot run you here. No, husband, I can't do that. You're going to have to figure it out this time.
Yep.
The word no is necessary for your mental health. People are not going to get it until you spaz out. People are not going to get it until you're laid up in the hospital. Now, everybody want to come and visit you and say, girl, you should have told us.
You can't. Because
you can't.
If I tell you, you're going to tell the right. I'm going to be in a group chat.
Yeah, I'm going to be in a group me. You're going to screenshot me. I don't have time for that. So, you guys, protect your peace. Protect your peace. That is the biggest thing with Mental Health Awareness Month that I can leave you is protect your peace. Your household peace, your kids' peace, your business peace. Like, really protect yourself. It is okay. If people, this is another thing, people always go on social media. Well, I seen her still liking stuff on social media and she not responding. You don't know who. That's my break time. I can do what I want. This is mine. Do you go to Nordstrom's and tell the people that? Do you go into the big place? No, I'm protecting my peace. I don't have to respond right away.
Yeah,
we have gotten so to this microwave situation that as soon as we DM somebody or inbox them, oh, they got to respond right away. No, when you don't get that response with Pepco. We don't get that response.
I've been harassed about that too.
But
for me, it's like people send a DM, hey, how much does this cost to get this, and that on my jacket? I need to figure out,
it's a mental.
Can that be done? How long would that take me? What materials do I need for that? Do I even want to do that? Is it worth? Will you got to say to yourself,
is this worth the capacity? And it's okay to process these things. So, you guys, you just get better about this. This Mental Health Awareness Month is just for May, but mental health awareness is every month for me.
And I definitely want to keep talking about it. Yeah.
It's big. Next month is PTSD month, awareness. So we're going to bring the light. I want you to share how can they reach you, how can they get this, canvases and
on all of my
handles.
Social media platforms is the artist Sierra Lynn. My website, thesierralyncollection.com. Pretty much everything is Sierra Lynn. CIERRALYNN.
All right, you guys, you heard it here in the Breakthrough Lounge. My guest, the Sierra Lynn Collection, is here. Represent. If you're trying to break chains and curses, own it, wear it, believe it. If you want to, this can be the T-shirt at the family reunion. Get your shirts. Because it's about breaking curses in the family. Okay? I love you guys. Thanks for tuning in another amazing show with here, Miss Lonnie and the Breakthrough Lounge. Until next time, I see you. I love you and be blessed.
Ba-da-da-da.